We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2216 today. Jill and I are talking about, is flipping rural land still a good strategy in 2025? Geez, when is it not? How many times have you said this sentence in your life? Land keeps food on the table. To me,
True.
geez, I can't count that.
True.
Count the times.
You know, too, I was just thinking earlier today as we're in the kitchen just having lunch, and I was thinking we all need to remember there's a calm before the storm. Every time I think, well, that's it, it's over, this failed, no one's gonna call me, and then the phone or the mail was a bust, whatever. The next thing you know, my phone's blowing up, and all this stuff is happening. So I truly, in my soul, believe, and again, you especially can back this up with experience, that there's lulls and then watch what happens. I just have a feeling that, you know, I don't know how many months from now it's going to be, but we're going to go, boy, I wish I would have bought more of that.
Yep. Absolutely, totally agree. I'm watching prices come down, especially with houses. Watching prices down. The last 12 months have been just hilarious.
Yep.
What did you say today? I can't believe, Joe and I were in a small mountain town, bunch of small mountain towns.
This last summer.
Over the summer, in one town in particular, we thought was grossly overpriced. Well, it wasn't. It was still
at the time.
Still living in post-COVID prices. So we made a bunch of offers that we thought were very
Fair.
reasonable on property that had no debt, and they laughed at us.
Yep.
Every case, they laughed at us. And I'm glad they didn't accept our offers now.
Me too. Me too. Now they're like, oh, I should have taken that. Now they're on the market and sitting there for prices lower than what we offered.
Yep. I have so much to say
Or
about
right
that.
or right about what we offered. I'm like, tried to tell you that. And then, like you said, I'm relieved.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by your request.
Okay. Steve wrote, does anyone have experience with purchasing land for the development of trailer park storage facilities or purchasing land to sell to someone who's developing them? Thanks in advance.
Pick me.
Cool.
I do. I have a lot of experience with this. It's called what we call specific use property. And Jill and I have done probably 3 deals together, and I've done a couple of deals before her where this turned out great. So it's risky. You're buying a piece of property that is pre-zoned for whatever the use is that somebody a long time ago, some urban planner or whomever, decided that these properties they want trailer parks over here in this part of the city, or they want hotels over here, or whatever. It was their attempt at, and it may or may not apply to real world times anymore. And yeah, you can buy it. If it makes sense, you can buy it. But it's the same old story. You have to find a seller who's experiencing some reason that they want or need to sell the property. Jill and I did a specific use deal a few years ago in Ohio. It was right off a freeway for motel, like a La Quinta or a Red Roof Inn, if they even have those anymore, or Holiday Inn. I'm sure they don't have those anymore. But that type of motel where you pull off the freeway and you check in and then leave it early in the morning. And we sold it to a person who was developing that kind of stuff. I think it was a buy for $200, sell for $700 or $800. We made a ton of money on it.
Excuse me, by the way. I'd like to draw. Are we done with this question? Because I would like to draw attention to something funny.
Something not topic related.
Okay.
Go, Jill.
Are you done answering the question?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Since when do you? Okay, let's just go back here. What's going on in your world that you don't even know that there are still Holiday Inns?
I don't know. I mean, can you name some? Yeah, I
There
guess
are
we don't.
Holiday Inns.
Oh, there are?
Yes. It's not gone.
Haven't seen a Holiday Inn in years.
Gosh, I know. Well,
It's not on Expedia.
Maybe that's not where you stay, fancy pants.
Oh, really? This is an exact sentence out of my mouth last week. If I had my way,
Oh,
Jill,
that's true.
I would be parking right in front of a motel, long term, and enjoying this place.
That is true.
In San Diego.
Steven's perfect hotel experience is not a hotel. It's a motel.
Correct.
And not only can we park our door and back right up to it, we back up with a truck camper.
Yes, that's it.
That is his dream. So, okay.
So don't tell me about this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I went the wrong way.
Don't get highfalutin.
Excuse me. Holiday Inn is too high for what you're trying to do. You're looking for Lazy 8 Motel because it
Super
used
8,
to be
that's it.
Super
There are
8.
Super 8s
'cause
everywhere.
It used to be $8.
Leave the light on for you. That place.
All right, I went the wrong
Look,
direction.
if you want to make this a contest about highfalutin,
I did put us at a really nice place. That was fun. Rooftop bar. You know you spent too much on a hotel room when they said, by the way, you have $125 to spend at the bar. Well, that's no problem. And then you have $80 for breakfast every day. Great.
It's free. That's when Jill comes running back to the the room or whatever, saying, "We got all this stuff for free." I'm like,
Hey,
okay,
look what you get to do.
yeah, it's free.
And I also came back with a glass of champagne.
Correct.
From check-in.
This is why.
He's like, oh no. They
That-
don't do that at your Super 8.
This is why I don't know about that. There's Holiday Inns that exist anymore, Jill. Because since the day we met, we have never looked for one again.
Vending machine in the corner, lady. Go get your own quarters. All right.
Depending on who you are, you're either understand this or you're vomiting in your mouth right now.
Right.
All right, where are we?
Today's topic
Yeah.
is flipping rural land still a good idea or a good strategy in 2025?
When is it not?
I know.
When have
is
you
it
had
not?
a bad experience
Let's think about
flipping
this.
rural land?
Well, not in the 16 years with you, or and you in the 30 years you've been doing it. So let's think about this for a moment. And like you said, it's true. I have long been saying, and this is before Land Academy days, especially before Land Academy, you were looking for the next greatest and best thing to try to do something different than flipping land. And all the while we're doing it, we're buying and selling land. It's funding all these ideas. It's putting food on the table. It's paying all our bills. It's keeping our kids clothed and in school. All of that. It was always land.
Yep.
And I think that's what one of the revelations that you and I had before we launched Land Academy was, duh, why are we trying to kick land to the curb or repeat or make it better? It doesn't need to be improved upon. It's always great. So it continues to be. And then every time I think right now people are paying attention because they're like, oh, I don't know, things are slower. You guys just told the whole story about all these properties, on the market. We see them too. Shoot, why would I buy a bunch of land and have that sit there? Well, because you know what? Because it's going to change. And Jack talked about it earlier this week. He talked about the cycles. It's going to change. It's proven. This is not the first cycle. This is one of many cycles that it just keeps going. The earth revolves, or, it keeps spinning. It's not going to one day stop. So, and like I said, too, based on experience, I mean, just me, my 16 years, every time, not every time, but there's times I go, God, it's a little slower than normal. I never worry because I watch it, but I know that it's like there's times I go, when's my mail going to hit? What did they think about this one? And then boom, there goes my phone. It's going to come back, and I really think probably 2026 is probably a good estimate.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, gosh, if I had bought 30 of those that I didn't want to buy, I wish I had them now.
Here's my mic drop to end this topic. Would you buy a property prices itself into between $110,000 to $120,000? That's a retail value. That's what properties have traded for in the last 12 months in that area, and you're happy with 110 to 120. Your target is to sell it for 60,000. So you're going to buy it for 30. When is it not appropriate? When is it not appropriate to buy that property? And the answer is never. Here's what happens. Here's how things go sideways, especially with new people. It's worth 110 to 120. Got it. You know what? Everybody gets that. Everybody gets that point. Everyone. I don't care how new you are. I'm very sure I can sell it for $60,000. 60 to 70, maybe a little less if times are rough. Everyone gets that. Then I'm going to buy it for 30. And this is where it all goes sideways. What happens with a lot of people that are new in the business is, I just did a mailer. I just spent $10,000 doing a mailer. I got to do a deal. So 30 becomes 60. She doesn't want to sell it for 30. Well, I'm maybe house
And
40.
she's not a real seller.
How about, you know what? Everybody, I'm going to pay $65,000 for it. And that's where this goes sideways. Here's what should happen. You have 10 deals that you're looking at that are the seller has shown an interest in selling the property. You're going to find 1 or 2 people out of 10. So it takes a lot of mail, a lot of talking on the phone. And instead of just one property comes back, and then you start to justify why you're going to spend more, and you get into real trouble there. So the topic shouldn't be, is it a good strategy in 2025? It's an amazing strategy in 2025, as always. Ask anybody. What has anybody ever said this? You shouldn't be buying land. No one's ever said that in the history of humanity.
That's true.
What they mean.
That's all. We should end it on that.
What this is.
That's it.
You shouldn't be paying too much for it.
That's it. We understand.
Join us tomorrow where Jill and I talk about the easiest way to fund your land deals without using your own money. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
Inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.